Hey guys, welcome to another Trade Genius podcast. Got my good friend Bob here, and we are going to talk about gold. We've told you about bonds and why that's going to be a good play. Well, we're going to tell you about a big breakout we think is going to happen with gold. Let's dive in.
Trade Genius.
All right, Bob, lay it on us. Why are we about to break out?
Yeah, Phil, I think the market just doesn't believe that governments really have the stomach for trying to rein in debt. And everybody's going to be opting towards monetizing the debt. And you have also kind of a political battle out there, too, with Russia and China and some other countries trying to de-dollarize the world and using gold. And it's just setting up a perfect storm for gold. And let me show you this chart. And I mean by perfect storm, a beautiful storm if you're long gold. And if you look at this chart here, this is gold versus the US, a 50-year chart, basically saying they're losing control. And gold is going to explode higher. And I think the explosion is going to go because the United States government is now, or the Fed, well, I guess they're the same thing, are going to start lowering interest rates, Phil. And I think gold's going to fly. And look at today. I mean, look at this week. You know, the markets that they're whacking oil, they're whacking Bitcoin, they're whacking the NASDAQ, and gold's just plowing along here. Doesn't care. And we had another big day today. The gold miners are starting to break out too. And I think it's going to be gold's time, which is ironic because it took the great financial crisis to ignite gold in 2010 and 2011. They're not waiting around for it this time. They're igniting early. So they know, the market and the players know that the medication they're going to use for this crisis of recession coming up is going to be destroying money in dollars and yen and euros at the problem. And gold's going to benefit from that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point in regards to the great financial crisis, because that was a huge bull run that kicked off. And so we have a very similar situation shaping up here. But if you know any technical analysis, you know this is a big multi-year breakout that's about to happen. And whenever you have a large area of consolidation, and I would argue that from 2010 till now, right? You've been in a bull pennant, right? Multi-year bull pennant. So whenever you get that breakout move, which is actually happening right now in terms of CPI versus gold, and that's going to materialize in the gold price, make no mistake, but you should see a multi-year breakout. Now, will there be turbulence in the next 12 months with everything in asset prices? Sure. But beyond that, this is where I think you're setting up, and I think for Bitcoin to a certain extent too, you're going to have this multi-year run, and it's going to be, I think you have to go back and you have to look at the analog of what happened with gold after the gold ETFs were introduced, and you had this multi-year, about the 10-year run basically, and it was a solid uptrend. It wasn't like very sporadic, or there wasn't a ton of head fakes. If you look on a weekly chart, yeah, you had your pullbacks here and there, but I mean, it was a nice trend line move up. I think Bitcoin can do something similar, but right now gold's looking better, right? Gold's actually performing a bit better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been stuck in this consolidation phase, but to ignore this would be foolish. So those of you that are gold bugs and have that allocated in your portfolio, you should be positioned pretty well here. And I'm talking like end of decade stuff, but buy the dips on gold, because this is a monster move that's about to happen here.
Hey everybody, it's Bob with Trade Genius. Usually I do fun ads. I talk about our service, but I want to be serious with you for a second. We've been helping a lot of people trading for a long time. As you can see here, I want to let them do the talking for me for a change. But most importantly, we want to help you too. If you have not joined our service yet, come check us out, tradelikeagenius.com. Full service. We have chat room. We have the algorithms for you. We give trades out every day. We educate you. So go to tradelikeagenius.com. Check us out. What you get out of our service is much, much more than what you put into it. And we'd like to see you in the room. Thanks for listening. Yeah, there's no such thing as a triple top, Phil, and we're getting that triple top right now. So this looks like a breakout to me. And I like the first rejection was a higher low. The second rejection was even a higher low. And that usually means that there's momentum under the surface, even though it's long term. Remember, federal governments and central banks, they're not day trading, all right? They're building portfolios for decades. And,
right.
and I think we're really at that point. And it's going to be really, really interesting. So for me personally, because I just don't trust the political spectrum around the world, is that the gold miners that I own are definitely in English-speaking worlds. So I have a feeling that Mexico is going to keep trying to raise the cost of extracting gold and silver and moving it out of the country. And so you're going to want to be in gold and silver miners that are here in the U.S. If you join our service, I'll tell you the ones that I own, the ones that I like, and where you're going to be safest. And I think you just can't underestimate the ability for these governments to lock down their assets when things start to get real. You already heard Trump talking about tariffing Canadian oil coming into the country. I mean, Canada and the US, come on, we're going to tariff our next door neighbor. Mexico does it with silver miners coming out. They're tariffing through higher extraction taxes. So if our closest neighbors start doing it to each other, you could just imagine what's going to happen around the world. So, either you buy the metals directly, which I'm not a big fan of because you can't not really monetize them, or you can go ahead and buy the miners, which you can monetize. So US and Canadian miners are my favorite. With that, Phil, that's all I have. I just think it's wild. It caught my eye today when everything else was just, basically we're having a rugby scrum right now in the market, and gold says, well, I'm not playing. I'm in a different league right now. So that's what you want to see. You want to see those divergences.
All right, guys, let us know your thoughts. We'll talk market directions more tomorrow. We'd like to hear your comments here on what you think about the gold and whether or not you believe in the big gold breakout about to happen. So post your comments below. Thanks for watching. If you need help navigating these markets, as always, check out our stuff over at tradegenius.co. We have a lot of packages to choose from. You can find one that best suits your needs. Other than that, thanks, Bob. We'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.
Trade Genius.